man. It's like a black void. I'm sorry if I got lost. So once you render the light in here, the most basic function you have is targeting where it looks. See how I rotated here? And you got all three axes here. The red for like left and right, the looking up and down, and you can also just click in the middle and move your mouse however you want. So, oh, and by the way, if you first get it and you only have like this, or it looks like this instead, you can click this button right here, down in the bottom left corner. See where it is? And this changes a different kind of controls for how you manipulate the object. It's also Q, W, E, and R. These 4 buttons down here on the keyboard. I'm a big keyboard shortcut guy, so that's the immediate obvious thing about how to aim the light. That's one thing. But once you have the light actually selected, it populates with all these different options on here, such as the intensity, or how wide or tall the light viewing is. There's wider. This isn't going to look much different here. The radius. There's a couple features on here that won't do anything apparently unless you have it applied as what's called a super light, which sounds cool. And I can show you what that does. I'm going to show you 2 things regarding the lighting. So right now this is just a basic light. Let's pull that view back. The first one I'm going to show you is volumetric lighting. Sorry, volumetric lighting. If you right click on the light up here, there's a little option right there. This is enable volumetrics. And this is going to take a second to show up, but it really adds like a real incredible graphical intensity for it. So this is volumetric lighting, and this is it's going to take a second, and that's normal lighting. Normal and volumetric. And that adds like almost as if you had a helicopter and you had a light, and you could see like the light beam and everything. My Undertale models. I only have one. I have a papyrus model, and I used it for a video, and that was it. So now with this one, there's a few different things that are changed, like with I think the height and the width, or the wet edge. That didn't change on there. Long story short, you can see the difference on there 10 times better. So that's one way. That's one of the extra features of the lights outside of normal lights. That's volumetric lighting. Important note, Moonchaser, when you use volumetric lighting, when you go to render the video itself, it will take much longer to do. Not consider a little bit longer, not like a mountain slide of time longer. Especially if you have them everywhere. So unless you have to actually have a lighting effect, and you don't just need a light, you don't really need to use it. If I put a let me put a model on that light so you can see what it looks like. And you wanted to see a Undertale model, huh? So okay, I'll use Papyrus. I hate you, because Papyrus is a donger. No, I'm not going to use the Papyrus model. I'll use like a Master Chief model or something. I don't know. I don't know. Just grabbing things. Give me 1 second. So there you go. That's volumetric lighting. I'm also getting conjunctivated. Versus normal lighting. Big difference. So the next option you can do on here is called Uberlighting. So I'm going to turn off volumetrics. And you go right click on here, and you go to Show an Element Viewer Light. So this, sorry. So when you want to enable Uberlighting, you go to right click on it, show an element viewer light, and there will be a checkbox down here. This is Uberlight. If you have this condensed or you have a different resolution, you might have to scroll down, but it's there. Just find it and you click it. So we're going to go back here now to the regular controls, and a few more of these things actually work now, such as near, far, some of the width and height. See how now we can do very specific lighting effects, like if we want it to be a bar of light from left to right. We couldn't do that before. See how it's... And I think you can even put them together. And now you have volumetric Uberlighting. Very cool. But sort of like what we were talking about with the volumetric, Uberlighting is not something I use very often. It's just not something that really needs to be used very often. It's a very... you use it when you need the light to do a very specific kind of thing.